sponsored by Sneak Energy.
Hey up lads, welcome back to Coyote Racing for yet another video. Did you know that the phrase never give up actually has a face and a name? No, it's not this person. Nor does it belong to Jimmer. The phrase actually belongs to this man, 2009's Formula 1 World Champion Jenson Button. And why does never give up equate to him so much? Well, first a little backstory. Back in the early 2000s, Jenson Button was driving for BAR Honda, a fairly competitive team, and he actually won some podiums against Michael Schumacher. But for years upon years, bad luck after bad luck, people began to doubt Jenson Button and say that he would never ever win a race. And he was even questioned about this on Top Gear.
Why haven't you won a race? Because you're getting you're 100 starts now, aren't you?
100 something.
100 and something starts. So what's the matter?
We're just not quick enough for them, but we will get there, definitely.
Would you exchange the money, the Monte Carlo lifestyle and everything for that first win?
100%.
You would?
100%.
Jack the lot in for one win?
100%.
You really would exchange everything?
100%, yeah. It's what I've been doing for 20 years almost now,
yeah.
Is racing, trying to be the best. But it's better to say you're world champion, isn't it? You're the best in the world at something. You know, you
that
gave
would
it everything.
Be, yeah. No, I appreciate where you're coming from on that.
So to many, he was seen as the underdog of Formula 1. But that all changed in 2006 at the Hungaroring at the Hungarian Grand Prix, where things didn't actually look to be in his favour, starting off in 14th position, and yet still coming through to win the race.
Because here, in his 113th Grand Prix start, he's proved the critics wrong. They said he might never win a Grand Prix. He's done it! Jenson Button wins the Hungarian Grand Prix! Get in there!
And that was his first victory, and therefore clear that you should never give up. Even when starting near the back of the field in 14th place, you can still win. But bad luck was never too far away from Mr. Button, as in the next years after this, the team and himself really struggled to get any points. But Jenson never ever gave up. He still raced, and he still tried his hardest. And then the peak of bad luck happened when Honda pulled out of Formula 1 entirely, leaving him without a seat and possibly the end of his Formula 1 career. But that's where this man, Ross Brawn, came along and purchased the team and thus turned it into Brawn GP Formula 1 team. 4 months prior to the first race in Australia, Jenson didn't even know if he was going to be on the grid. But when it actually came to the moment, he tested his new car, blitzing it around the track and giving his feedback to the mechanics, saying this.
I remember driving out, did the first lap, and you know, the balance wasn't there. I heard you saying the other day that Jenson came in, he wasn't happy with the balance. Totally true. I was like, well, I came in and said, wow, they've got understeer here, the car's not working here. And Shove sort of peered into the cockpit, looked at me, thought I was joking about how the setup didn't feel good. He said, you've done one lap and you're, was it 1.2 seconds quicker or something than everyone.
And we all know the story after that. Jenson went on to win the 2009 World Championship. He was the driver that everybody doubted, nobody had any faith in him, and he came along and showed the world what he could do. And became world champion, going from everybody said he would never win a race to being world champion. And if I may say so myself, that Jenson Button is, personally, my favourite Formula 1 driver ever. Which is why we are in F1 2019 with this. The Brawn GP BGB 001. The car that won Jenson Button his World Championship. Probably one of the greatest Formula 1 cars ever to grace the racetracks of Formula 1. Almost sponsorless as well at the time, as they didn't even know if they were going to be on the grid in 2009. And what we are going to be doing today is we are going to be trying to beat the pole position that shocked everybody by driving around the Melbourne Grand Prix circuit. And the time to beat today is Jenson Button's time of 1:26.202. So without any further ado, let's crack on with the video. Now I know there's going to be a few people in the comments saying that the F1 2019 is not a great example of a Formula 1 simulator. I understand that, but I can't be asked to go and mod a BGB 001 or the Melbourne circuit where I can actually have it as a package right here. So here we are on the circuit, just got to do a few laps just to get our whereabouts of where we need to be. Melbourne's one of those circuits that just hosts a slew of races like the V8 supercar races, which everybody loves watching. But I will never ever forget watching the 2009 GP where both Button and Barrichello locked out the front row, and Barrichello had a really bad start at the beginning of the race, but still managed to actually come back from near midfield and still win after having all those problems and having quite a bit of damage. But nobody could touch Button the entire race. He was just on fire, and I must say, it is so nice to hear. Even though it's a V8 and it's slightly more anemic than the V10s, it's still a screaming V8, which the words screaming and V8 does not go together. But just hearing it again, oh, it's beautiful. Still much better than the sound of the V6s we get today. So here we come, coming up to our first flying lap. Let's see what we can do. Get slowly on, and then away we go. Full on the power straight away across the line. Oh, which is a bit further up ahead. I've got to remember that these cars don't have DRS at all. Get on the brakes down at the Jones corner, turn it in. Maybe a little bit too hard on the brakes there. So we come through Brabham. Oh, we've beaten our rival already, even though that wasn't our real good lap. And we're going to get on the brakes again, down into second or first gear. Coming through Sports Centre. Get on the power again. And away we go. We keep it flat through here. Oh, it's so amazing to hear the scream of that engine. One thing I do have to get used to though is that these cars are nowhere near on the handling or downforce level of the modern day Formula 1 cars. As I messed that corner up there royally. That wasn't good. The modern Formula 1 cars, they're going so much quicker with their ERS and their DRS, with their zones and stuff. This was just all naturally aspirated, none of this electronic nonsense. The driver and the car, and it was glorious to watch and listen to as well. Where we're gonna come now. We're 7 seconds ahead. So this is our first timed lap.
Okay, that last lap was a 1 minute 30.5.
So we're 4 seconds off Jenson Button's time, with a lot of mistakes in there that even I can see. I think that's doable. I reckon that's doable. Now, one thing I'm going to have to make clear is that I'm not going to be fiddling with the setup. I'm just going to use it as the stock setup.
Okay, the time last lap was a 1:30.5.
Oh, much faster through there, but I reckon we can go a bit quicker than usual. We're 4/10 up. Very good. Get on the brakes hard again. Getting down. Oh, that was a bit much. Oh, we messed that up. Messed that up really bad. Oh, we're not doing too well through these sectors, I've got to admit. We need to do better than this. I do remember in Melbourne though, 2009, there were a lot of accidents, especially when it comes to Sebastian Vettel, and I think it was Timo Glock. I think it was. Oh, we've gained 2 seconds now. It's getting very close. Where we're going to come, I'm not sure. But we're really fighting it now. Getting to second gear as we come through centre corner. Open to Prost corner. Get off the power slightly. Oh, we're so close. We're 3 seconds up on our time already.
Okay, the time last lap was a 1 minute 27.4.
Oh, not bad. Not bad at all. We're just over a second off the time to beat. And I still made some mistakes during that lap, so I reckon it is definitely possible. I'm gonna break the car if I don't stop clowning about. You may be also wondering why I rate Jenson Button so highly. It's like my favourite Formula 1 driver. I think he's a lot more talented than people rate him for, because his pure skill when it comes to wet weather driving especially is something that's often overlooked. For example, in Canada in 2011, one of the greatest races I have ever seen. Me and my dad and my brother all sat down and watched that race. I know that for sure. It was a torrential, awful day of just rain, and the race had to be red flagged at one point. Jenson had to do 6 pit stops in that entire race. 6 pit stops. And halfway through the race, he was last. Dead last. And on the last lap, he managed to get himself up to 2nd place. And Sebastian Vettel probably made one of the biggest mistakes of his career and spun out, leaving Jenson Button to win in Canada. And it is one of the best drives I have ever seen. I can't believe that race doesn't get rated, or that drive doesn't get rated, because that is one of the greatest drives I've ever seen. Got 4/10 there. Oh, we lost a bit of time there. That's good. Can't lose that traction. We need that traction. Oh, come on. What's this time gonna be? 126.5. Oh, it's getting very close. Very close. We've got to find 3 more tenths. 4 more tenths, actually. Just to beat him. I reckon we can do it. Getting very, very close to Jenson's time. I think it also goes without saying, though, that Jenson Button was also a complete gentleman as well when it comes to racing as well. If there was ever a mistake, he always owned up to it. He never put the blame on anyone else. And he was actually a brilliant sportsman. Brilliant sportsman. What am I doing right now? And I think that's why I like him so much. Because not only for his skill, but because he seems like a genuinely nice bloke. That's not to say, though, that the 2009 Formula 1 season was out with its controversy, though. Because if you may remember, Ferrari tried to take Braun to court over the double diffuser of the car. If I can try and get a view of that. Let's get a better view of it. If you look underneath the car there, at the diffuser, you can see that it goes into like a U shape almost. Now 2 of the teams apart from Braun actually cottoned onto this trick of the double diffuser, but they didn't get touched. It's because Braun was kicking Ferrari's backside that Ferrari just went, oh, let's try and, you know, get him done for something that isn't illegal. Right, I'm gonna shut up for a couple of laps and see if I can get this time done. Crying out loud. Now that's a good lap. That was a great lap, and we have actually beaten Jenson Button with a 1:25.8, and I reckon I can actually go a little bit faster than that as well. But I will be honest, I've been sat here for about half an hour, 40 minutes, just trying to get those extra tenths. But anyway, guys, if you've enjoyed this video, feel free to leave a like. It would really help me a lot, and I would really appreciate it. And if you're new to this channel, feel free to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. That would also mean a lot and help me out a lot. And just before we go, a quick word from our sponsor, sneakenergy.com, the sugar-free energy formula that really picks you up and keeps your wits about you sharp. They've helped me a lot in the past when I actually need to focus and concentrate on a late night when I'm tired and I need to race and get those laps in. So be sure to use code DOGGO when you check out at sneakenergy.com. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I shall see you guys in the next video. Have a good night, everybody.